working the rhyme, reading comics, toys are hella sick, hella whacking it, taking bad hits, taking bad shits,
He's got a little bit of camel toe going on, how Jordan? Hey, what's up you guys? ShartimusPrime here, doing another Marvel Universe action figure review on not a Marvel Universe figure, but the 3 3/4 inch Marvel Legends series Invincible Iron Man. So without even opening this figure up, I can already see that articulation looks a little disappointing. I picked it up anyway because this is our most contemporary look for Iron Man, and I liked the design, and I wanted an action figure version of this. Anyway, looking at the packaging, we get this nice image of Iron Man, nothing on the side, and then on the very back, you can see the other figures from the wave. There's a read-up. If you want to read it, pause it now. Alright, let's get to it and crack this thing open. And here's the Invincible Iron Man figure out of the packaging. And if I'm going to be brutally honest, I kind of hate this figure. This figure is a huge step backwards for Marvel Universe. Just a lot of disappointments with this thing. Mostly due to the articulation, though. The paint apps aren't too terrible. There are things I do like about the sculpt and the paint. But I still don't even like everything about the sculpt and paint, so it's not like I've been totally won over by those aspects or those characteristics of the figure. It's just a letdown. Alright, anyway, let's take a closer look. Now to briefly talk about this armor, from what I remember, this is the last armor Iron Man was wearing before Tony Stark died. He does survive as an AI in the Ironheart armor, but yeah, Tony Stark is dead. This armor does have shape-shifting abilities, so that's the big deal with this, and he can also have weapons pop out in different forms and everything. It's not attached to his biology, but it is attached to his brain, so if he has, he can command the armor through his neural synapses, and he can change modes and change shape and everything at the blink of a thought. So that's the deal with this armor, which doesn't look too bad. Again, I don't hate the sculpt entirely, and I don't hate the paint apps entirely, but there are things that I really dislike about those aspects still. For instance, the gold paint needs a second layer. Look, as I turn it sideways right there, you can see the red coming right through. That bums me out. The front of it has a fair amount of gold paint, but as we get to the other side, you can see red just coming through that gold, and that bothers me a lot. I do like the sculpted lines, and I do like how we get this angled mask right over here for the very front of the figure. I think that's very cool how it comes to a point like that. Do like the baby blue for the eye and the arc reactor right there, or both eyes anyway. And then we get some nicely sculpted lines at the top of the head, and then on the back and on the side, you can see some nice sculpted detail. We get nice gunmetal. I love that gunmetal paint. So we get some of that on the neck and in some of these seams over here, which does look pretty good. Not all the way through. Now, the figure is mostly a shiny plastic. You can see marbling through right there, right? I'm not liking that so much. And they all have it. I did look through multiples. You can see some more gunmetal paint added right here. I do like that. And one above the dinghy. And then he does have some more gold paint right there on the forearms, so that doesn't look too shabby. I do wish this was removable, because as I said, he can have different weapons pop out, and he can have them all retracted, so, you know, the fact that you can't take this on and off bothers me. I wish I could take this off, but not a bad weapon choice. I do like the big guns, though. You know, he'll have these, like, giant guns pop out and stuff. Then that looks pretty cool right there. The little bit of blue right there inside the gunmetal. And the inside of the hands are actually painted fairly nicely, so I like having the gold and gunmetal mixed together right there. I like those little details. I think that looks pretty nice on the left hand too. So not absolutely terrible right there with the paint apps. And then right here on the legs, looks pretty good. I kind of missed the mark on some of those lines, but not terrible. And again, there's definite marbling throughout on this figure, you know, so kind of a bummer right there. One of my biggest complaints about the sculpted details on this, though, or not sculpted details, but just the sculpting in general, is these little flaps right over here hinder the ankle pivot, which really bothers me, because there is ankle pivot there, but you have a hard time moving it because of these bits of plastic. I wish they had just, brought this in a little bit more. You can see some gunmetal at the bottom of his feet right there, and he does have peg holes. As I mentioned, I'm very unhappy with the articulation of this figure. You can't really get him looking up too much. That's about as far up as the figure is going to look, which is not really even looking up at all. So another flying figure that cannot look upward. The down motion right there is pretty limited, so it will look down just a tad. You do get side-to-side movement over here, and a little bit of head pivot. Actually, fairly decent head pivot. Shoulder joints move outward that much. They move downward only that far. They can't go down any further than that. They do move forward around 360. You get 360 rotation at the elbow. You get a single joint right there that bends in that much, and no wrist swiveling on either side, so that's frustrating. You get a diaphragm swivel right here. You do get some diaphragm pivot, and it does move forward that much and back that much. So as far as flying poses go, that's the best you can really do. The hip joints move outward that far. You can get him kicking forward that much. Yeah, without it turning, you can get him kicking forward that much and back that far. You can also rotate up here a little bit. You get double jointed knees. Then the ankles move down. They move up some. And you do get ankle pivot, but as I'd mentioned earlier, the figure works against itself. And, you can make it happen, but I just fear over time that might ruin the figure. I don't know, but it will work. It just makes it hard to use. Now, measuring this Invincible Iron Man figure, you can see that it's standing right at 4.5 inches tall. And then for your comic Iron Man comparison, we have the Invincible Iron Man next to the Bleeding Edge Iron Man, and man, they do not fit into scale at all. This is just really bizarre. I didn't realize how small this was compared to this one, but yeah, this is kind of a tiny Iron Man. But definitely one of my favorite comic 3¾ inch Iron Man figures. I mean, this figure is so much better than this newer one. And then here's the Invincible Iron Man next to the 3¾ inch Jane Foster Lady Thor. And I am aware that the knees are slightly bent on this figure. I did ruin the right ankle on this figure, so she's very tricky to stand. So I actually think with the legs straightened out, they're standing closer to the same height. And this is actually the reason why I picked up this Invincible Iron Man, is so I can complete my all new, all different Avengers. I don't know who it was who did it, but they posted an awesome image of their Marvel Legends all new, all different Avengers mixed in with these two right here, and it looked really cool. I can't remember who it was, but I'm totally stealing their idea. Then here's the Invincible Iron Man next to the only other figure that I picked up from this wave, the all new Wolverine. And I think these two scale fairly well together. I think that looks pretty good. Now, if you picked up all new Wolverine issue 18, you would have seen that Laura does actually wear this armor due to Tiger lending it to her to save Madripoor, as you can see in these images right here. So, to check out some head swappage, boom, there you go. Yeah, looks perfect. Nothing weird about the neck on this at all, right? Everything's perfectly fine. Great. No? Okay, yeah. So that doesn't really work out too well. And I may have really loosened this joint popping that head off. So yeah, that does not work at all. Just the peg is just too big for this smaller head. I was really hoping that would work. Thought that would have been really cool to have the X-23 or the Wolverine head on the Iron Man suit, but no. Damn it. Oh well, I tried. Then here's our little big time letdown Iron Man next to the little big time letdown Spider-Man. And this is the little big time letdown Spider-Man, not to be mistaken for the big time no letdown Spider-Man. See, they're two different figures, you guys. They're not the same. So if you have your posing chops up to par, you can get him into some decent poses, yeah, you can make it work. I'm sure somebody out there really likes this figure a lot, but not over here. No, not in this house. Nope, not at all. I'm not really a big fan of this figure. I am disappointed. Hasbro could have done so much better, but that's the one that we have. Anyway, we will be getting a Marvel Legend of this, right? So I'm very excited for that one. Cannot wait. And speaking of Marvel Legends, hey, Hasbro, what the hell, man? Double jointed elbows on the 3¾ inch Lady Thor, but it's not going to be there on the 6 inch? Come on, man. Hasbro, come on. You know I love you guys, but why you gotta make me so upset, Why? Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please go ahead and hit the like button. Leave a comment down below. Let me know what you think of the review. Let me know what you think of the figure, man. Am I alone here? Am I the only one who doesn't like this piece? And if you want to see more Shartimus Prime videos, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. If you're already subscribed, make sure you hit the notification bell so you can be part of the notification squad and know immediately when the last Shartimus Prime video was posted. If you want to see a photo gallery of images, it's at marvelousnews.com. And you can see figures that I have for sale along with Shartimus Prime t-shirts and Shartimus Prime tunes at shartimusprime.net. I'll catch you guys later. Peace.
Posing action figures, I'm posing action figures, I'm posing action figures every day. I'm posing action figures, I'm posing action figures, I'm posing action figures, it's okay. shot, we're shot in your face. I said we're shot, we're shot, we're shot in your face. I said we're shot, we're shot, we're shot in your face. I said we're shot, we're shot, we're shot in your face.